Hi, and welcome to Glazed Confections. This is Pastry Fundamentals, the show that teaches you about the importance of ingredients in baked goods. Unlike a lot of YouTube channels out there, we're going to go in depth about the ingredients, why they're used, and how to alter them so that you can make your own unique recipes at home and understand the fundamentals of baking. You may know me from Halloween Wars or just generally watching Food Network. I have a vast competition career in over 19 international and national competitions in the art of sugar. I've worked at several resorts, the Four Seasons, the Waldorf Astoria. All of this knowledge that I've acquired over 12 years is here to benefit you. Now you see I have a stack of room temperature unsalted butter to my left. I'm going to go ahead and unwrap each individual butter and place it in this bowl, making sure to scale it so that you can see the water evaporation that will happen over the cooking process here on our induction stove. Now I'm going to unwrap each individual butter block and place it in the bowl. I'll try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was fun made to open butter and put and pose. So stupid. So a fun tip with unwrapping butter is making sure to have a nice hot bowl of water. Oh, tips my fingers. Grab one stick of butter, grab the top paper, hold it gently in the hot water, and then release, and it flops out of the packaging very easily. So we unwrapped 2 dozen sticks of butter. My total weight on here is 2,574. We definitely have some residual grams in all those wrappers that we saved. Now I'm going to show you with one easy trick how to get all that butter out. Now I have what's called a bench scraper. This guy is such an easy tool to just keep in your kitchen and use for many different purposes, one of which is to get the butter out of our wrappers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So let's see, we're at 2,610 grams. So we're gonna go ahead and dump all of this butter into the pot. Now this is going to be a 30 to 40 minute wait on start to finish of the caramelization on 24 sticks of butter. Now do understand, bigger quantities of butter mean a longer cooking time. Smaller quantities of butter, let's say like 2 sticks, is probably only gonna take you maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna keep a medium heat on a number 5 for an induction burner. If you don't know what an induction burner is, it's basically a bunch of vibrations that get sent through a metal pan, and those vibrations turn into heat. Now our butter has been melting for a whole 5 minutes now. We're gonna go ahead and just stir and make sure that all those lumps get broken down. You got almost that psychedelic look going on. That's gonna go ahead and be all of the milk solids that are going and rising to the top. So it's been about 6 minutes and steam is finally coming off the butter. This is water evaporation. This is what we want to see. Now, when you have an American butter, you're gonna look at about 13 to 18% water content that we have to burn off. So, or cook off, I'm sorry. Not burn, we're not making burnt butter. So I have a copper whisk. I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk up our melted butter. It's been about 6 to 5 minutes of it coming to this steam. You can see that water evaporation is starting to happen, leaving us with just pure fat. Now, so you understand what the difference is between melted butter, clarified butter, and then of course the next stage is going to be brown butter. So I have this beautiful antique copper ladle. I like to collect fun antique kitchen items. And of course I have these beautiful clear vases. Now normally these are meant for little tiny floral arrangements or what have you. Now you can see these bubbles are starting to move really fast. means you have a lot of energy, and a lot of energy usually is an indicator of a lot of water content. Whether you're cooking butter, you're cooking sugar, you're cooking more complicated things like a pâte à fouille or a pâte à crème or a pastry cream, anytime you see fast, rapid moving bubbles, that means there's a lot of moisture to burn off. Very important to stir periodically throughout the melting process, as you want to peel up anything that's sticking to the bottom of the pan. So we can see that it has been about 10 minutes since we last checked in on the butter. Honestly, just staring at this makes me want to grab a lobster and shove it in there. Now what I can do for everyone is go ahead and take that clarified butter for you. Now you're gonna wanna go ahead and avoid all those sticky lactose solids and just go ahead and get as much of the clarified melted butter as you can. Now you can tell it's clarified because it is see-through. You can literally see through it like a piece of yellow stained glass. Now what can we do with clarified butter? We can dip our lobster in it. A fun trick on the savory side is going and actually cooking your steak in it. So it has been another beautiful 5 minutes and all the lactose solids are finally falling to the bottom of the pan. This is the caramelization stage that we were waiting for. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a nice whisk around. So it's really important that you begin to whisk with enthusiasm, because your arm's gonna wanna fall off within the next 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take one last final sample of our butter to go ahead and show you what it looks like before it turns into brown butter. That beautiful, clear, clarified butter right before the stage of brown butter. Oh goodness, what's that I hear? It's nothing. The sound of nothing. That literally means there's no more water content that's burning off. Those bubbles are really quiet, which means they're moving really slowly in comparison to when we were first melting butter and they were having a party and they were moving super fast. Obviously the party has died down. Everybody is chilling out and they're working on their tan and getting over their hangovers in the morning sun after the party. We have a light golden yellow, I would say, but I am going for a grandmother's amber necklace, if you need an analogy. We have this beautiful froth on top. That is an indicator that we are very close to finishing our brown butter. All right, we are in those last stages. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my burner. All my beautiful lactose solids are caramelized. All right, I wanted to show you guys this gorgeous color we got. Again, I'm just gonna put my vase. Don't wanna burn myself. This is fairly hot going on. I know I'm making a bit of a mess, but it's just to make sure that I get that brown butter in that jar so you guys can see the color accurately. I'm gonna press tear on my beautiful, and look at that, we got a gorgeous brown color. That is not a black color at all. That is brown butter. So I have here a sheet pan. It's to help me cool down the brown butter so that the cooking process doesn't continue. So I'm just gonna take this hot brown butter and I'm gonna pour it into this sheet pan. Now, I'm gonna take a spatula. I'm gonna clean out all of those beautiful brown butter particles. So I've placed our butter in the refrigerator for 2 hours. You can see all of our butters have solidified and our brown butter is ready to be chopped up. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it out of the pan. That's a loud noise. And you can see all those brown butter particles are on the back. I'm just gonna chop them up into cubes so I can use them in my next recipe. Why is using brown butter so important? It's gonna add a richness to your recipe. The higher fat content means higher flavonoids. Flavonoids get trapped in fat. That's why fat makes everything better. And that's it for me. This has been brown butter solids, clarified butter. Just butter all around. I'll see you next week for another pastry tip and trick. And remember to follow us on our other platforms for more pastry knowledge.